Sa Teme lunge wangzhu kebe jo kanso ndrebe gombo rinpo. Nede ai jimbo e sun la so wa de nede jimbo e sun la e so wa. Namda e zu de nge da e sang jen ba to wa bu de nga da zo na. Cheng ai ja su ya ta su man da wa de ai jimbo e sun la e so wa. Dembo sum lai so wa de sa ji ja ji ai che la na ni kan de ai do wa kun ji jiao so je je le ai sang be ai ten ba je se pan de la me ai sha la so wa de pan de ai la me ai sha la so wa de o yin zhi bie wang zhu ai jian bo ai zun de an ba xie nie su ji ai dian zi ai shu nu tai zhou ai lang ji ai ju zhang ai du bie zhe jia bie ai se bo ai sum la ai so wa jia bie ai se bo ai sum la ai so wa de me zhou yin de zu zi ai sang ji 담배 제라야 난가 자보다 제대 주지야 방배야 생게 야제 상배 자라 소원데 야제 상배 자라 소원 장조의 도지야 주구는 부지 라베라예 제송 진지 도와의 진배 제니 저 난가 전대 잘라서 난가 전대 잘라서 오이 메메 제베 대제 제레 제메 진배 홍보 잠배 간제 개베 소진 종가 로산 잡에 잘라서 로사에 잡에 잘라서 데 제베 왕주 잠배 안자서 개제메베 니마 개레 바니드 담배 주제 엠바서 Dame lama esumla sowa de dame lama esumla sowa nye cheji endo je ta go song ngjra jawa yen sa londo nga da sang je ye je ja ke ju chen bo esumla sowa Kejai Jimbo Sumla Sowa and Losa Jia Janze Zembe Deye Tose Kunzo Janze Lama Sanze Losa Yeshi Jeze Lama Sumla Sowa Jeze Lama Sumla Sowa Tode benze nga wa chamba da te to se lo sa nian de ya zo da wo yin de da ye nga jin je la ma sum la so wa ten je la ma sum la so wa de lo sa ye je ten ba ra je Loje sangbe zhuge namandro ze lo sai jave chuzulu jinge Lama sumla sowa de tsume lama sumla sowa Kesa namade shibi londo de shiru nije zen la dade Kaje nyame zabe lama la gosun goba jimbe sowa gosun goba jimbe sowa Ande Dambara Shabe Kingo Reni Chube Rida Suni Gaza Duja Mose Gunde Nyatenze Gedo Shala Esova Tenze Gedo Shala Esova Dozoi Jani Malu Divi Golosai Jamba Leji Junde Junde Lundu Jazu Do Tenjin Divi Gola Sova Tenjin Divi Gola Sova De Jamba Sode La So Abamor Tujale Tamai Jande Jimbe So Namashi Chile Jazu Guji Yangja Jizi Lama Sowa Yangja Jizi Lama Sowa Loza Jawa Gunji Yeji Jedu Jime Jande Jimbe Yengoro Jazu Judi Tinje Lame Shala Sowa Tinje Lame Shala Sowa De Awa Loza Jebe Zenge Janze Lavate Chube So Sezo Wangjuro Tsumba Mebe Number Drive and the law is over, and the number drive and the Major Lord Isamba Javi, the Bella Jimmy and the Dai Juji, Kawan Gaji Mountain of Jotaye and Raja Isura Kula Tabi Ketan Dava Dribe Jung Jebe Jebe Ayatake Jeba Sanze Shinyan Allah Soa Sanze Shinyan Allah Soa Jebande Aylame Ayanambara Tawa Keje Saya Loda Meje Jende Lebara Tonve Mugu Lame Jela Simla Jubara Yende Gunje Shijo Jinje Jesuje Damba Lamje Zawar Lebara Tone Beba Tuma Yinkuva Chimbe Dembara Jinje Kuva Chimbe Dembara Jinje Lenje Nyebe Tabe Tensan Ditenje Nyeka Tenje Sheju Ninje Gundu Ningbo Lembe Lo Junje Meba Jewara Jinji Junje Mebara Jewara Jinji Lu So Chuye Chubu Jinyudo Jibe Jiwa Jemba Chiwe Jesu Ludan Aitima Shekana Lende Chijiria Dangwa Neba Tembo Nine Nebe So Tashi Tawa Namja Bowa Kezo Tada Jubara Cheva Tado Badan Dembara Jinji Tado Badan Dembara Jin Mingo Dunga Gunji Ngoyeda Miro Sebe Punzo Nyemere Tabe Dewa La Tenye Chemborai Jevarai Jinji Tenye Chemborai Jevarai Jinji Nandai Sambai Teye Changba Yitenda Sheshe Paye Chembo Tembe Tawa Sosora Tawa La Druva Nimbora Chevara Jinji La Druva Nimbora Chevara Jinji Ranye se zor lumbai chi jin du mang jo wa kun jang tenda tong nian wa zhu we ku jie we chang zhu sim zhuo zhong ba la jin chang zhu sim zhuo zhong ba la jin ji sim zama jie jiang sun zhi me nam song la kong ba me na chang zhu men zhu le ba la tong ne jia se tong ba la zong ba zha we lo ba la jin ji zha be lo ba la jin ji lo be ye la yang wa yi ji ji yang da ten la cun xi jie ba xie ne lang do song do zhe be la niu do jue la yi jie wa la jin ji niu do jue la yi jie wa la jin ji tong mo lam zhang ne do na te wa gun jie chou ju ro do jie gan san jie wei zhong wo ye tang ba den de la niu do zhu ba jin jie lon de la niu do zhu ba la jin jie ke jie ngon zhuo nam nie zhu xie nam da tang jie dong ba song wa jiao ma mian bei ne ba nie ju ne so dang de de song 清洁罗所当得的送我了清洁，天天人你见那么节节多年总把也吞下难着了这里米。我单白送钱着我清洁罗单白送钱着我清。他他他lâm sang ai tuân biết千年，他出现准备爱装那家庭。 切达那个巴多这边做捏瓦来西瓦来金杰拉多，捏瓦来西瓦来金杰拉多，杰瓦滚多养大拉玛，咱们这些别拉龙这撒大拉杰远的拉，多些张个高瓦女多哟。我心中不是说，别真不美好。
万真是也在是，我本是人也好，我今朝人不有也空为无所。小人广播罗上佛，南巴拉智下这面前，自当自我我要当我要行。 有天当了求者，这面年当，这面年给当。人不知日我把三给心得知把毛毛把耶罗东。婆罗人不知，罗布人不知，祖摩人不知，龙波人不知。南波人不知，大周人不知，芒波人不知，得真波耶嗡巴。 耶玛真瓦玛罗玛嘎玛，梅多玛多波玛那萨玛真夏玛，涅玛达瓦仁波切多乔勒南巴教维教塞，无苏他达米本就罗本松萨巴玛桑瓦梅巴桑心一度王瓦迪达。 有巴这边巴达拉玛坦巴南达开巴多样用作登北阿达杰森达三角点节节往修北三波线啊，开巴全部送修三摩修为人多心肝不完有突厥周围顿多些所所，天天讲到所周啊马有那个大大娘被圣贤团结了突然，不过内心给了多少。
也所心并济，
So, for the sake of all other sentient beings equating the limits of space, one must attain the state of full enlightenment, Buddhahood, by every means. For this purpose, one should now listen to these teachings, and so please clarify your motivation in such a way and listen in such a manner.
지금 이제 남녀를 마다니 마토마 되게 거네. 근데 가든지 집에 손제사 투벌 제비 주순조 남녀를 마세요. 그래다디 점루고네 주주지. 점루다나 랍자나 소질 랍자도 도모의 랍자니 옆에 나온 게 나 소질 랍자한테 가서 쉬어서 말이야.
So the teaching that we'll be listening to is that which contains the graduated path of the practice of the three scopes of beings, the path that leads one to the omniscient state of Buddhahood, the graduated path of enlightenment, and within that one has come to the section of the refuge. And within the section of refuge there is the precepts of refuge pertaining of the individual precepts and the common precepts. So here yesterday we have a completed section on the individual precepts. Nice.
그래다 가서는다 고선도 되나 아니던데 주인듯이 이제 안에는 내가 내기를 해서 야서는 된다 쇼초고 말해서 쇼거로 다 된다는데 고선도 된 쇼비나 대급나 단다 배자로 오지나 그래다 보는 것만 된데 너무 요래 쇼를 막아서 마스 쇼리 배자다 라브네지 몰라지 된데 쇼비나 라브네지 뭐 가세레스나 다 추이다 공탑에서 다 차기로 된데 말아봤지 배자 가르 된데 쇼고 라브네 오지나 네 쇼리 가세레스 그래서네 쇼를 맞지 대한민국 건강을 오지나 네 꾸준히 막아세레스 주의를 막아세레스 아마도 그 이름 막아세레스 그래서 좀 해야
So yesterday, as we mentioned that when one refers to the body, speech, and mind representations of the Buddha, one should place the actual thought, of them as being the actual body, speech, and mind of the Buddha, and avoid showing disrespect or criticizing. And also, when one is inviting the body, speech, and mind basis into one's home, for example, when one is trying to obtain a text, for example, in the Lamrim Chenmo. So in Tibet, they used to have this particular way of saying. For example, if we had a long folio text, Tibetan text like Lamrim Chenmo, then if you were to go to a store and then try to obtain such a text, then you wouldn't say how much does this text cost, but you would say how much would it cost to invite this text.
You don't ask how much the Lamrim Chenmo cost. You don't ask.
Yes.
You ask the cost of the pages.
So you do not say how much does the text cost. You say how much do the pages cost. And when one is inviting a statue, an image of the Buddha to one's home, then one will not say how much does the statue cost, rather how much does the material cost.
Material of the statue.
The material of the statue cost. Yes.
Redane da tomonga nabjala trole kunjusonje chebardo yonde jisu tembe yanda yonde jobsen roane ngar chebada nombe chebada teso nompendeji chebada dedagi yonde na yoyon simba wo garinji mu jisu tembe tuita de chobada tonji sawada chabi pujumbu uwa ne tende jabode sonje sonjinde senyeja 대지바 소문적으로 시스템보다 가전님이 손에 론을 대도 공조도 공조가 진짜 시바지다. 제바서에 서면 조벌 자오 이 말다 도망가야다 좋지. 근데 단다 공조선이 연대 전배하고는 연대 잡선 로와서야다 동부 된지 여러분. 근데 이 말다데 내 연대다 제바도 연대 연습입니다. 가서는 군주선 연대에서 쉬었단 말이에요. 군주선 논편들이 제발요 쉬었단 말이에요. 얘네다 제발 논비 돈비 제발 댐비 제발 견디지 제발 대소다 가서는 로자로 왔는데 대체 연대 제야대 전배권에 잡선 로가다 납자 동모대 말이에요.
So then we move on to the next section, which is the general precepts of refuge, and you have the text is on one page 196, bottom page 196, and here it mentions the 6 precepts, general precepts of refuge. Firstly, by recalling the distinctions and good qualities of the 3 jewels, going for refuge over again and again. Secondly, by recalling the great kindness of the 3 jewels, strive to worship them constantly and offer their first portion of food and drink. Thirdly, establish other living beings in this practice by considering them with compassion. Fourthly, whatever activity you engage in, whatever your purpose, make offerings and supplications for 3 jewels, forsaking any other worldly methods. Fifthly, after you have understood the benefits, going for refuge 3 times in a day and 3 times at night. And sixthly, maintaining your refuge, do not forsake 3 jewels. Even in jest of it costs you your life. For the first one, by recalling the distinctions and good qualities of the 3 jewels, going for refuge over and over again. And here, we've in the past few sessions, we have covered the qualities, individual qualities of each of the 3 jewels, as well as covered the distinctions regarding the 3 jewels, the distinctive qualities of the founder, distinctive qualities of the teachings, the distinctive qualities of the Sangha community. So through remembering these qualities and distinctions over and over again, they're cultivating a practice of refuge through such remembrance. Yes.
가세 다 남준네 가세 롱조고 인도네 단다 롱가 마세 거나 단다네 초아때마 잠주부야 여러 다 디즈는 뭐지네 자자 가래이나 디푸드 고조다 그거이나 그래다 가제 남주 노조데 뒤진도 노조데 인데 대 다바레지든 푸야지 제마이나 조바자 침모 조바 뒤진도 줘야 되는 용기가 아니 말이야 근데 그래다 가리지서 좀 배고는 조바다 동야 사지 푸고야 된지 다 가리가 안 되냐서 나네 ರೋ나 델리 가르쳐 봐이나 대야 담지 다 군요 가르레스 그러다 단다 가서 다 노조 다바이나 아니 지마동안에 되는 중벌과 이 말이야 다 지마동안에 중앙인데 네 짐바지한테 짐바테 가르세나 개베센 자대거래 근데 개심 담지단다 손지에 틀린 자대거래 이제 손지에 틀린라 때는 짐바동야 중벌에 대라 때는 노조 중벌에 근데 노조대 손지에 그까지 자대거래 다 근데 시바체는 대 손배 론한테 간지 중만이나요 그래다 대화노 중만이나 대화대 개변되고 뭔다 다 개화대 요 손지에 틀린 자대거래 텔리인도 손지게 가디 시바체네 다 진소비 삼바 제바소비 삼바세나 진소비 삼비 는 손지에 줘봐줘봐대 납자님 바티지.
So then the second general precept of refuge is that by recalling the great kindness of the three jewels, strive to worship them constantly and offer the first portion of your food and drink. So when one is making this, so at all times, one consumes food and drinks at all times, and then prior to consuming or enjoying these food and drinks, one should make offerings of whatever one consumes to the three jewels. If one is able to offer in this way, since one is constantly enjoying food and drink at all times, if one is to remember to offer three jewels prior to enjoying them, then gradually over time one will be able to accumulate great offerings and also great merits through this process. Becomes a great offering. So then also one makes offering due to remembering the kindness of the three jewels. And how does the three jewels how have the three jewels be kind to us? One should understand that whatever happiness one achieves is due to the kindness of the three jewels, because for example our enjoyments that we have obtained have come about due to the practice of generosity, whereas generosity in turn is a virtuous state of mind. And the virtuous state of all virtuous states of mind that are engendered in the mental continuum of sentient beings are essentially the enlightened activities of all the Buddhas. So due to that, due to the kindness of the Buddhas, due to the enlightened activities of the Buddhas, sentient beings generate virtuous thoughts, and therefore they perform generosity. And due to that, then one receives a ripening result of enjoyment. So all this is due to the kindness of the three jewels. So whatever, in general, whatever happiness or pleasure that we receive, all these have been generated through virtue. They are the ripening results of virtue. And all virtue has come about due to the kindness of the Buddhas, due to the Buddha's enlightened activities. Therefore, through remembering the kindness of three jewels and wishing to repay, with the thought of repaying the kindness of the three jewels, one should make offerings constantly. Yes.
이말다 조바 데라 데라요 조바 자와도 제베 삼반이서 돈보다 줘네 고단 조바는 순지 조지 공원 조바 초된 조바는 순지 초대선은 조바 무엇은 조바는 대여 롱가 원본은 조바는 난 조바고 무엇은 조바는 순지 된 초대 뭐도 마저바나 순지 초대 탐지지도 조바고 산진영은 되지 대체도 구소도 초대 제도서 제바요 무엇은 많이 매 조바 대니 권한 조바는 대저기 주인 탐지 주인 대등 원도 조바 니나만 조바 잘라 돼서 손제 탐지 소주 매면 조대는 초도냠 조바네 모두 조바 진 조바데 나만 손 자제라 니만의 대비지 치자죠 손만 대비지 신 자제와 손비 손제도 대고 구소도 제는 조바네 주니 열매 봐 템버 제네 탐지는 조비 뱀바동아 같이요 이 말단데 고는 조바나 소비 다나 조바 자와들라 다 조성이 말해 근데 고는 조바세야데 손제 다 샤주데 갑라 손제 공부는 줘야다 근데 손제 샤주가 갑라 근데 손제게 제든 조대 대는 조바제야 돼 고는 조바도 조대는 조바제야 말해
ဒီငုစချပါရ
아
သူရရှိရှိပဲကတွန်းပါငုစချပါထောင်းချတဲ့နာ
손제지 그 공부는 조바셔야지 나요 공은 많이 나요 뒤체도 어디 조대서 하는 스미 조대서 할 텐데요 되는 조대서 조대는 조바지요 요르텔라 그거는 조바는 조대는 조바스 니지
디 ngusung이 쳐봐라
레다 종가 된데 그거는 조바 조대는 조바스 니지
나스
대롱가 온보다 ngosum도 조요 네 조바들 ngosum이 조바스 선바디 자고
So then one goes on to mention about the different types of offerings, different ways of making offerings. So when one is making offerings, then firstly there is the offerings to the Buddha's body, which refers to their actions of offerings and attitudes. So the first of the different actions, the different classifications in regards to the actions of offerings. There are 10 classifications. The first one refers to offerings to the Buddha's body, which means making offerings to the Buddha's physical form when the Buddha is alive in the world, when the Buddha was living, present in this world system. And then the second offerings is making offerings to stupas, which refers to making offerings to the stupas on the behalf of the Buddha, for the sake of the Buddha.
The stupas during Buddha's time, so directly offering to the Buddha. The other one is the offering to the stupas, which contains the Buddha's, the hairs and nails, so forth, the relics, as parts of Buddha's holy body.
Then ranga ombodan onde chobadan chobase asumbachi da ngoso maimben chobase. And then sonje da tein choden ranga ombodan onde majobachi. Da sonje shajugal mewa indu tandaru ina ombodan onde majobachi de gore. Derejedu onde majobala sonje don choden 탐지 제체도 저기요 상바 제야대 모서 많이 미쳐봐 제 말이 모서 많이 미쳐봐 인데다 손지 양에 되지 등성어서로 손지 고수도 조대는 줘야 돼 모서 많이 미쳐봐지.
And then the third classification is offerings to a perceived object, which refers to making offerings to the above to the Buddha's physical body and the stupas during the Buddha's time, as it manifests to your own sensory faculties. Then the fourth offering is that the offerings to a non-perceived object who refers to making offerings to the Buddha and the stupas when they are not actually present. For example, when the Buddha is not, Buddha has passed away into parinirvana, it no longer abides in this world, then one makes offerings to the Buddha's images and to the stupas. So here, by thinking, by mentally thinking, one is making offering to these objects. So here, these belong to the category of offerings to a non-perceived object. Yes.
이 말다 뭔데 저마저 제인 줘봐서 인데 대니 고노는 줘봤나 뭔데 저마저 고노는 줘봤나 내가 무슨 많이 봤어 나래 뭔데 저마저 고노는 줘봤나 지금 조비 열다나 롱고만 뭔데 줘대요 된지 와지 대는 초용도 대다게 주니 제게 주니 담제지 주니래서 다들 그래서 돈이로 제이나 조댕의 주니다 고속인 조댕에서는 뭐면도 매바로와 근데 dem비도 많이 말로지 버려 인도에서 제게 주니데 담제지 주니래 근데 인도다 뭐서 좀 내는 초용미 갑라 나 뭐서 좀 맞죠 소주 그래다 뒤 대바마와 다다 네 초탐지 손지 탐제는 초고요 준이로 지관인자 제는 초인데 탐제는 초고요 삼바지와이나 뭐는 좀 먼저 제인 초반이스 근데 손놈 지정 간데서 도구를 쓰나 뭐는 절반은 줘봐 돼요 손놈 침모래 대례종 뭐는 맞아봐는 줘봐대 손놈 책을 대례종 나 준이 예면 봐 전에 강간은 초고요 삼바지나 손놈 치자 제발해서 정말 신의 자죠.
So then next one makes offerings to, when one makes offerings to the perceived, both perceived and non-perceived objects of offerings, then whatever offerings one makes at that point of time, one should consider that the dharmata, or the reality or of emptiness, the empty nature, the nature of emptiness of the object that one is making an offering to, is similar to all the objects of that are worthy of offerings. All the stupas and all the Buddhas, they essentially there is no separate nature. They are of one nature. Their natures are not separate from each other. The nature of one is the nature of all. Therefore, when one makes offerings, then one should think that through making offering to this holy object, one is making offerings to all the Buddhas of the 10 directions, Buddhas of the past, the Buddhas of the present, and those of the future. Now all the Buddhas of all directions, and through making offering through this to this one holy object, one makes offerings to all the Buddhas, because the nature of this holy object is the reality or dharmata of this holy object is the same as that of all the other holy objects as well. So when one makes such offerings, one should bring this to mind. So therefore, when one makes, it is said that one makes offerings to a perceived object, directly perceived object, then there is great merit. And when one makes offerings to a non-perceived object, then there is even greater merit. If one makes offerings to remembering the dharmata, the not inseparable nature of reality of all these objects of offering, then objects that one makes offerings to, then this accumulates the greatest merit, greatest amount of karma. Yes.
이 말다 무슨 조바스의 손제 샤슈데 갑제 손제게 공원에 줘야다 뒤체도 주빈 초대는 줘야 되지 당고는 맞아봤어도 되니어로 뭐도 맞아봤지 근데 손제 양에는 대지에서 손제가 거다 초대는 줘봤다 무슨 많이 미쳐봐서 다 되니 너네는 무슨 많이 미쳐봐대 손자 치아요 손바로 봐 손바래 다 되는 데도 단다 근데 손제 샤슈비 가블라는 손제는 줘봐 보이는데 손나 받으면 봐 더고요 하다 델라 때에는 레다 종주 도야다 되는 농대 농자 뭐뭐 용기요 봐 손은 침모인 받다 되는 용기요 델레 좀 단단 양에는 뒤지서 고소도 초대는 줘봤대 손은 치아요 손 이제 단다 만원도 난다 손제 거다 조대되는 줘봐 동의 거는 줘봐 보이나 손제 공부받아 무일라 포바네 손은 치아 도고요 인도 된데 배줘봐 보야 돼서 동의 거는 놓은데는 부야겠지 뭐래 대요 난다 손제 공부인 자바네 손제 단양에 되지 고소 예배이나 대표용 치아요 배용 진조지 치아요 성야 신조 다 줘봐나 손제 공부는 줘봐다 양에 내지서 고소는 줘봐 재미있나 쭈르주지 손은 치아요 성야 된데 용요
So when one makes a direct offering to the Buddhas, one makes what we call direct offerings or to a perceived object. These offerings are referring to those that one makes directly to the Buddha when the Buddha is Buddha's physical body, when the Buddha is residing in this world, and also the stupas that were erected or created at the time of the Buddha for the sake of the Buddha. And so when one makes those offerings, they're considered what we call direct offerings. The indirect offerings are those that one makes after the Buddha has passed away into nirvana, and then one makes the offerings to the images that represent the Buddha's physical body, as well as the stupas created in honor of the Buddha. So
when one makes these indirect offerings, then one creates greater merit than than making direct offerings. So the reason for that is that, for example, during the Buddha's time, when the Buddha was physically abiding in this world, those who made offerings to the Buddha received an immeasurable amount of merit. And also, with that, they also received predictions of enlightenment, prophecies, predictions prophesizing their attainment of Buddhahood at a particular eon or in a particular world system. So here, now the Buddha, now that the Buddha has passed away to parinirvana, when one makes offerings to the Buddha's images that represent the Buddha, then one creates greater merit than making actual offerings to the Buddha. And so therefore, it is important. It is important that we constantly make offerings to the Buddha images, simply because we receive more benefit than we were to make offerings to the actual Buddha himself, physically present. So here, when one it is said that seeing the Buddha image, an image of the Buddha has more benefit than seeing the actual Buddha himself, the physical body of the Buddha before parinirvana. And it is said if one makes offerings to the Buddha image, it is 16 times more beneficial than making the actual offering to the actual physical body of the Buddha. Yes.
So the offering 16 times greater benefit one receive than having made offering to the actual holy body of the Buddha. Made offering to the statue of the Buddha 16 times greater merit than having made offering to the actual holy body of Buddha. And seeing also after Buddha passed away, seeing the Buddha statue has 4 times greater merit. So how much, by actually seeing the holy body, how much merit benefit one receives. So that much 4 times one receive by seeing the statue of the Buddha.
근데 조준 도요섬 다이 멤버만 주변에 손제 탐제는 조고요 삼바제는 조반이나 대형 준이 예매 받지 대 근데 조바 신의 자체 선은 신의 자체 봐 손바지스 나한테 손바인데네 나라서 고소답에 제일은 조바 대세나 다디 준이 다 이제 탐제 준이 뭐지관인데 근데 손제 자비요 탐제는 조고요 삼바제야 되는 게 전부인 말이에요.
So hence, when one makes indirect offerings, one receives greater benefit than making direct offerings, and what is greater than that is to make offerings to holy objects with the thought of the single nature of reality of all the objects of offering. For example, remembering that the dharmata, or the nature of reality of all the Buddhas in the 10 directions and the 3 times, they're all of one single nature. That if one makes offerings in this way, then one accumulates the most vast amount of merit. So when we are making, for example, if we're making offerings to one representation of the body, Buddha's one holy object that represents either the representations of the body, speech, and mind of the Buddha, when one makes the offerings, to that holy object, one should remember that its dharmata, or its nature of reality, is the same as all the Buddhas in the 10 directions and 3 times. All the objects of refuge, all the objects of offerings, have the same dharmata nature, and then one makes offerings to all of them simultaneously through this remembrance. So if one does that, then one accumulates the greatest amount of merit. Yes.
이 말은 아니다. 단다. 남만의 조반이 있나? 단다. 주의다. 근데 남인 류라 손제 탐지 쇼네. choba lengi yo se ya tende sungu yo ro sungba yin za lama choba yin na da sonje damje chunyi yeme bo ma de na yo sonje damje de chobe pe yo to go yo so re da sonje yin na ne chunyi yeme ba ma de ma yin na to ma she to ba ta ba chen ko la choba pu ba yin na to ma she to la pu be so nam to go de ma do sonje damje pu be so nam to go yo ma re tende yin za ba chunyi yeme de ne da ne ko ne la chu yo du 근데 그게 지대한 감나 유업이 있는데 손제 탐진 저거요 삼바제나 탐진 저거 배워 도고요.
So then in an instance here would be when one makes offerings to the guru. When one makes offerings to one spiritual master, the guru, then it is said that all the Buddhas will enter into the guru's body to receive offerings from the disciples. So therefore, at that point of time, even as though one may not remember the dharmata of all the holy objects being of one nature, and visualizing making offerings to them simultaneously, still one receives such benefit of making offerings to all the holy objects simultaneously, merely offering to the Guru, because all the Buddhas will enter into the Guru's body to receive such offerings. However, if one is making offering to, for example, an image of Shakyamuni Buddha, if at that point of time one does not recall the dharmata or the nature reality of all phenomena, of all the holy objects, the nature reality of all the holy objects being one nature with that image, then one would not receive the benefit of making offerings to all the Buddhas. One would only receive the benefit of making offering only to Shakyamuni Buddha. However, if one were to recall the dharmata, the nature reality of all the holy objects being one nature with this particular image that one is making offering to, then one will receive the benefit of making offerings to all the holy objects and all the Buddhas in the 3 times of 10 directions, all the world systems. Yes.
내가 년년도 밤에 배우고 이제 제도 문제 그런 나다는 저 예, 제도 주빈 저번에 론은 거고 중요요라 선제동아 선남 총지 메뉴 반대다 그 저번에 대wan 조르냐 인제도 되면 예 권한 조도 주고 예 요거는 인기 제반에 로진이게 통화한테 대섬지 선남이 지원은 아마도 라고 이 말에 대연데 조바부가 되잖아 로니 레로다 뇽네다 근데 밤에 밤에 봐도 얘네 되는 저번만 보면 막 얘는 저 롱게 막 얘는 표주야 너 되는 제나 근데 소도 도구만 인도 소소 롱게 늘라비 보이나 배우지야 용거리스 소미어 인도변은 조어제 고노디고제 대가는 조바 보이는 거요 조바 보이는 무슨 날이고요. 무슨 날짜인지 이나 조어 보이는 거요. 대답은 롱게 라다는 조바스. 다 대가는 옛날에다 조어근이 와서 조방가 접수셔서 쉬도거나 어나 조어근이 와 조 실라대 영안지 사로 제거스 텐데세기 메스 송바레다 나 돈다 롱게 돈다레스 그 조바 부야데 롱게 돈다레 근데 대 저런 책이 있으나 얘는 돕지대 저런 사로 제거서 이야기 소는 뭔지 잘 모르겠어 남자들은 넘버로.
So then the next section talks about the fifth title here says offerings made by yourself or offerings made manually by yourself. Do not have others make them for you out of your laziness, indifference, or carelessness. So when one makes offerings, one should avoid being lazy or careless and indifference to making offerings, and then due to those reasons, making others make offerings on one's behalf rather than one physically making offerings with one's own hands. This is something one should avoid because one loses out on the merit. One does not receive the merit if one does not make the physical offering oneself. So therefore, make the offering oneself physically. So one should actually physically make offerings with one's both hands. And it is said that Lama Atisha, in his later years of his life, because of his old age, he's like physically trembling physically trembling when he was making offerings. So his disciples, having seen that, and then said to him, "Out of respect, Chowo, which is the respective title given to Lama Tisha, you're physically, this is a physical hardship. This is physically tiring for you. So let us make these offerings on your behalf." So Lama Tisha replied and said, "So now that you're saying that due to physical hardship, let us make this is physically too hard for you. So let us make these offerings for you. So next, are you going to say, eating is too hard for you? Can we eat on your behalf? So are you going to eat my meals on your behalf, on my behalf? Eat my meals on my behalf."
Juba Boyare, Jimatayare, Karina, and the wrong Ladane, Jevena, the son of Chimbuyori, Jen Daninjane, Parobo Donga, Nojo member, and the Juba Boyana, a Coron de Vatogri, and that Coron Juba Boya Meva Hindu, wrong and the Juba Boyjut in the party. Choron Choba Pus, tell a ninja young. Ninja the Dembegone, Jen Conal, Chojo, Rongamajo, that the ninja won't get the Richevena, so normally just on chat over somebody.
So then the next one, offerings that you help others to make, this refers to offerings of compassion. So even though if one makes offerings with one's own hands physically, then one creates greater merit. But then if one were to meet others who experience great suffering and who are due to low in merit, then they have not much physical enjoyments and not much actual wealth to make offerings. Then due to and through understanding that through making more offerings they will achieve more happiness. But then they're physically impoverished with nothing to offer. So financially impoverished with nothing to offer. So through such compassionate thoughts, then providing them with things to make offerings with, giving them gifts and making them make offerings with those. And therefore, because one does this with a thought of compassion in order to cause others to create more merit, and such a form of offering, then one generates greater merit in this way than the previous offering mentioned. Yes.
Jena Ninja Yane, Ninja Demigone, Jen, Chobaboya, Konoja, and the wrong game of poo, the Regina, dining give Tomoji, then Tanda Nimba de Leon, and the cheese on the Chiato with this. Jen said the Juba de Leon, son of Chiato.
So there's the because in this case one generates great compassion, generates great compassion to others, and through the thought of great compassion one causes others to make offerings. So then in this way one generates even more extensive merit than the one mentioned before.
And Nebado Gurdin Chobas, Namzado, Shazedo, Simjado, Dendo, Nuji Sumedo, Yojido, Dugua, Chema, Chubi Budo, Medo, Romida, Maminazo, Kubarma, Chata, the one that don't want the Tamajo, the Tobanato Juba, Yelangi, Chatawata, Yesos of Kovata, Shenas of Semichi Jimbata, and over the Ninja, the Bunjanas with Jendo, Tana, Tibubata, Kashabana Tolata. Sevi Trivi, Sonja Sam, then Choden and Choba was in my da. Never the good in Choba said, Danyaba, Sena, Namzasha said that, and the Puyatela, Nebambune, Tincho Passing. Cortes and Adeda, 고바지 차한테 고바지 내가 노제네 그래 담모자 아니 도바 보야 되제네 고르테세가 이 말이 다 다나네 트리뷰트네 트리뷰트 보야 내가 노제 메도노데 또야 배샤나 또야 아니 세베트 바스 세베스는 나 고바스 기어로 근데 세베트 바스야 그게 고에 고는 잡 조바마도의 제도 잡아대 고비 잡아대야 되는 거 무슨 말이야 그래서 녀바도 그때 줘봐서
是자기 조바마도의 제도 장와지고
잡아
So, sorry, I made correction because just what Richard just mentioned a while ago was that there's a third kind of offering whereby one seeing others being impoverished, then due to the motivation of compassion, giving them gifts and making them engage in offering together with oneself. So this is like a third kind of offering, and this third kind of offering, whereby one engages in a virtuous act together with the other person, then the merit of this third kind of offering is greater than the previous two, making actual offerings of oneself and by oneself and causing others to make offerings. So this is the third kind, whereby one actually makes offerings together with that person. So then this kind of merit is the greatest one, greater than the previous two. Then the next.
Greater merit one quite by doing together offering here like the previous one. So that means the second one that with compassion you let others to collect to make offering, so you collect a greater merit than offering you did by yourself. So this here now here doing together, so you collect greater merit like the second one.
Then the next section says offerings of wealth and service. So here one can also make offerings to the Buddha and stupa with different kinds of gifts such as clothing, food, bedding, seeds, medicine, personal necessities, incense, and so on and so forth. These various kinds of external offerings. And then one can also make offerings with respectful speech, prostrations, and so forth, which means like physically circumambulating the holy objects, making actual physical prostrations, and praising verbally, through song and verses and so forth, with speech, one speech. And also, one can also make offerings of sound, such as ringing bells, and also scattering money and flowers upon the holy objects. And it says here, one can also make offerings of spools of thread. So here, Rinpoche says that the spools of thread is referring to a specific kind of like a lattice, like a net kind of thing that is woven together with wool to prevent birds from dirtying the holy
birds
objects.
making caca over the stuff.
So birds pooing over the holy objects. So it's like a net to keep the birds from pooing over holy objects. No less.
이 말은 다 되는 전제난다. 녀바도 그든 줘봐서야. 제 다되네 자체빈 줘봐제 말에. 나 자체빈 줘봐서야 돼. 단다 녀바도 그든 줘봐대. 줘봐 녀바도 그든 줘봐대. 나게 되는 뭐 봐대. 줘봐제야. 되네제라 자체빈 줘봐서. 대형 다다 녀바도 그때 몸보부야. 대형 손보부야. 근데 부위 요 무슨 임바도 멤버. 늘 롱게라다네 제바도 신 제도 주바. 네. 간이 타바네 네 무바 타부고네 대바 가시. 다 가와다 대바 쇼침부고는 줘야. 되네제라 자체빈 줘봐서 그래서. 이 말은 좋아라. 개바도 도비선 주도 뭐 봐서. 이제 개바도 동 봐대. 다 강가르지. 되네제네. 자체는 초바들다 네 소인
So then the next section talks about vast offerings. These vast offerings refers to offerings of the above mentioned physical wealth and so forth, and as well as offering a service over a long period of time. And when one makes offerings, also one there's the offerings of possessing the 7 qualities. There's a quality of being copious, which means being many large amounts, and offerings of good that are excellent, offerings of which refers to offerings of good qualities. And there's offerings of both perceived and non-perceived, which means offerings of direct offerings and indirect offerings, and offerings done by both oneself and others, which refers to actually physically making offerings with one's own hands, or causing others to do it, to make offerings. And then there is the offerings being offered with heartfelt delight and fervent aspirations, which refers to making offerings with the thought of feeling joy from the depth of one's being, or a forceful faith, powerful faith from the depth of one's heart. And then there is the offering that with the merit being dedicated to perfect enlightenment. So all the virtuous karma that one creates through making offerings to the 3 jewels, one dedicates to attainment of full enlightenment. So all these 7 constitute what the 7 qualities of vast offerings. Yes.
From the 7, first one making offering a long time, then many, and then good quality, and the 4th one is, I think, the actually performed offerings, and mentally transformed offerings, like that.
다고는 용모지 많이 빈 줘봐세. 다고는 용모지 많이 빈 줘봐. 다 용모도 만들어. 대요. 네 최소다 밤에 내도 되는 거 온게 신 제주 반이나 얘는 최소 단다 초비 요르데라 최소에서 놓지. 근데 얘는 부주야서 된데 제에는 용모들 뒤에서 바로 된데 멤버 랑게 라 단내 제바스 랑게 라비 제바. 대체나는 구바 침부고네 제야. 그러다 건조도 저바 부바 대체나 근데 구바지야 거기요래. 이제 구바 제바스 대원한다. 그러다 요지 잡보다라 그러다 수제주에서 오는 대대는 그 구바 침부제는 니제고 제기로 대존은 구바제야. 근데 섬이제는 많이 봐 섬세지 봐. 고네 줘봐야. 차선 요모도 많이 봐. 요모지 많이 봐 제봐. 이 말다 줘봐봐 대세나 차도도 많이 봐. 그래다 얘는 전심에서 오는 거지. 얘 줘봐보기 통유 대라지 메가워체나 대란 전심지. 해서서 가워용이야. 대리제베나네 자동에 오게 로고요. 디자인은 뭐 많이 봐. 요 손제는 줘봐봐 얘나 손제라 대비 잡고 된다게 로네 야보 제기를 로네 지다 대용 상하게서 노 된다 맞지 봐. 아니 저병우보다요 tum빙우보 줘봐. 인자 된다지 이건 용어 줘봐 된 노세지나 조성이 말이야.
So then the 9th one is the offerings that are not contaminated with the afflictions. And then here refers to offerings that possess 6 qualities. Firstly, the offerings are made manually by oneself and not done through making others do these offerings due to contempt or carelessness or laziness from one's own side. So that refers to the offerings being done physically by oneself, with one's own hands. And then the second of these the second of these 6 qualities is that the offering should be made respectfully. So one needs to, when one makes offerings, one needs to do it in a respectful manner, as if you were pouring tea for the king himself. So you were in the presence of the king himself and pouring tea for the king. So one would do that in a very respectful manner. So when one makes offerings, one should adopt a similar kind of reverence. Then thirdly is making offerings without distraction. So one should make, when one is making offerings, one's mind should not be distracted, but should be single-pointedly concentrated on the action of offering. And fourthly, they should be free of afflictions, in that they are not mixed with attachment and the like. So here one's mind should be free of attachment and hatred. Here Rinpoche says specifically referring to the mind of competitiveness, seeing others making wonderful offerings and then being jealous of them and then wanting to compete with them, wanting to compete and wanting to be like them and so forth. So with this competitive mind here, referring to minds mixed with attachment and the like. And then fifthly, one makes offerings without expectation of receiving wealth and service from kings, and so on, who have faith in the Buddha. So the king or certain dignitaries might have very strong faith in the Buddha, and so through seeing us making offerings, they might grant us boons or give us presents and so forth, bestow gifts upon us. So one should make offerings to the Buddhas without expecting to receive such benefit from royalties and dignitaries. And then sixthly, one should make offerings with proper material accompaniments. So these are the 6 qualities of offerings not contaminated with afflictions. Yes.
손질라 대비 자본아서 이거 도들은 매지번 도명이 좀 좋고 tumbi ngubo ne mendiba padi chubada marku chubada kukurji dubado agi meto naso bado yin yoji rongwa membado chawa rongwa wo imada pabla asya ji sebo chengen ba ji yorwa di chubaga jewi na ko chengen ba yota di merongwa re sungyo ni mare den nanji bege kutu so ya zo che de marku chubena 마구 마다와지 나도 파 놈세로야서노 자기도 마구 좋아요 메롱스 누가 되잖아 고고지 누가 메롱스 고고게 누가서야 돼파 게이트 야기서노 레마도 내야 주어부야 된데 작은 메어데 된데 메롱데 나 아기 메도서 메도 되리라 소바 나 아니 도리게 메도 된데 좋은 메롱지 예요 요새 로마면 받아와 생인데 게노 지루카세 뽕 고벼라 게츠노 지루카세 뽕 되게라 아니 지루카세 메자 뽕 되게라 지루카세 따바따바 임바 다시 한번 자게는 샤트에서노 아니 좀다 젠라 그래다 좀마지라 마종에서노 젠나 메티마차로 요리 근데 된den 멤버 tumbe고고 근처가 제야 소인가
So then the next section in the text makes a note of the inappropriate things for offerings. So here, proper material accompaniments refer to offering things that are free of inappropriate materials, contents. For example, it says making offerings of things that are anointed with something called bala. So according to another text here, refers to something that's mixed with arsenic materials. Arsenic materials. And so it is arsenic is something that is yellow and yellowish in color and pungent and smell, so therefore it is an inappropriate offering. And then it says things soaked in butter. So this is, in another translation, is a soap made with butter. Since butter is something that cannot clean, on the contrary, it will stain fabrics. So therefore, a soap that is made with butter would be an inappropriate offering.
So washing the statues, the holograms with the butter, and then that cannot actually wash well, and the butter liquid is absorbs in the whole object.
So one should not wash holy objects with butter. And then there is the offerings of there's offerings of this particular substance called gugul, which is sort of like a frankincense kind of thing. Gugul is something that is dark in color and is a material that is burnt for its smoke, used during tantric rituals to drive away evil spirits. So therefore it is considered like a wrathful substance and therefore unsuitable as an offering. And then there is here the arka, white arka flowers, which are considered to be poisonous flowers. So one should not offer that or the like. And also one for gelongs, or the fully ordained monks who have taken up the ethics of training in the ethics of abandoning eating food during nighttime, then one should not offer meals in the past noon to a fully ordained monk. This would be considered an appropriate offering. And also for those who are vegetarians, and then offering meat to them. For those who are observing a pure diet, and then offering impure foods to them. So these are considered inappropriate offerings. Yes.
Something about the wrong, about the Mena, the Jijin Chuba Koyon, Jidin Kana Konyo, Gavata, Judgment of Mubada Dembe, Semji, Chabar, Jena, Jena, Sichun, Semi Chobajim, Juju, so young to do it, Delane, the same Yam, the same guy, somebody Chao, Nimberda, Tagi, nearby the good in Choba, Jajim, Choba said they are something tender, wrong, drop yard and the Mevachi, Jen and long yard and they are Mevayina. And that same again, using wrong comchi. And Jitin Kamna Reda, the Jijiban Chobata, Punya, and so just about the Mombo Yungiro. Then Jitin Kamna, the Jijiban Chobacon, Yoba Tamjila, Gawa, and the Jachamon Muba, then we're going to send you just Chibayena, and that Gatsing Mevachi. Sonam Jachim Botombroya, and the Yenza, Tuitadan, Telegavi, Gongores, Jizino Jagores on. Something to men and somebody there, men attended Javina, and Chobe, coach who raised on Yorwa. The two Junan and the Jizino Telecombayina, and Sonam Jachim Bosogio.
The next section says that if we were to not physically, don't actually possess materials suitable for offerings, or we've also not possessed, we were not to receive, if we were to not receive gifts from others that were suitable to make offerings with, then the alternative method would be to rejoice in all the offerings made through all the entire world systems by all the bodhisattvas, to all the Buddhas and so forth. All the extensive offerings that are being made to all the Buddhas, one should generate joy towards all these vast offerings in a very vast manner. One should generate a thought of joy, rejoicing in all these extensive offerings. And then, so if one were able to practice such rejoicing in the offerings of others, then one would accumulate vast amounts of merit through little hardship. So therefore, the physical hardship involved in this is very minimal, whereas the amount of merit that one can create or accumulate is extensive. So therefore, when one does not possess actual substances suitable for offering, nor does one receive gifts suitable to make such offerings, then one can alternatively practice such forms of rejoicing. Then one can see this as also as a form of offering. And in this process, then one can accumulate vast amounts of merit through little hardship. Yes.
The previous one, the previous one. So those who say normally need the food need to be very clean, so then giving them say unclean food.
Yes.
군조진도 당시 숨고바데 숨바다라 다부 마송에 매도 인도의 신도를 묻혀서 보는 요구와 자오 이 말이다 다부 마송에다 매도 레고는 지대서노 다 다부 매등에 그게 레고는 요등에 신긴 드버 신 그모자다 소바버기 다른 종의 요등에 근데 다부 매대서 근데 요나 대제 요 류도네 뭐거래스 대제가이나 난다 손은 받으면 봐 도구요래 손발.
Then the text continues to say that one can also make offerings of unowned materials, such as flowers that grow in the wild in the mountains, and also fruits that grow in the wild on trees, and as well as jewels, naturally occurring minerals that, like jewels and so forth. Then these they are unowned and they're natural, wild, and no one can make offerings of these. And through making such offerings, one accumulates infinite amount of merit. Yes.
이말 다 되는데 그게 다부 마송이 단다 요정에서 나오다 근데 이동 롱게 매남도 가르쳐 놓은 바이나 대제게 근조는 줘봐줘야 제나 조비제 무슨 좀 거지 대제 분야에서는 동의하지.
So it is said that one can also make offerings of unknown, beautiful natural scenery that one perceives. One can see one's eyes. Such beautiful scenery that is totally belonging to nature and unowned by anybody. Then one can make these offerings to the rituals without needing to physically set up offerings. One can also make offerings of natural scenery. Yes.
내제로도 지바 부여요로 다 대선은 제네 benjiden 감나 예동 뭐 공요 받담제네 부기요 삼바제나 근데 선은 자친 보도고 도그로 된대제야지 다 대요 단다 내제된 감정 뭐 탐지 부여하고 그래다 부여하고 온자에서는 용금 말했었나 다 짐들게 내려 줘버렸어. 지대 감는 짐들게 내려 줘봐 인도 로나 오미 차지 요디요래 된데다 내지라도 뭐 future 선물에 된데 노지지 다 지대 감는 예동 가려요나 되지라 롱게 손님지 차지 요 인도 엔터지 부고요 삼바지 난되게 와.
So for example, when one is making mandala offerings, one visualizes Mount Meru and all the entire world system, with all the enjoyments, physical enjoyments and so forth, all then contained within the mandala offering and making offering with that. So through such offerings, one accumulates great merit. And sometimes we might even doubt, would it be right, to offer the entire world system with all its enjoyments, though we do not have a right, and we do not actually own all of this. But however, one should understand that the appearance of all these physical enjoyments and the world systems has come forth through the collective karma of all the beings that reside in this world. Therefore, all the world systems is all these beautiful enjoyments and so forth. Within all of these, there is a portion of one's karma that brought about their existence. Therefore, if one were to make offerings, with such recognition, one should make offerings of them, and then through this process, one can accumulate great merit. Yes.
말다 대제 손생이 줘봐지. 다네 다 드빈 줘봐. 드빈 줘봐네 타나 반주 잠도 용. 세메제도 주 도미제다. 잡선도 바지지르면 사모도만이는 뭐지? 뭐도 받네 받아. Tsurimla domsim jeba dong, jongju ji so dong, pa jin dong, duwa jin, gomba dong, zomba, o so. Ima da rubin choba se ya de, da gewe chu rubya, ronga, nonga, semga dong rubya, dende da rubin choba je ima re, tena yo, tanda de, tana banju zamdo yo se, banju se ya no, bayi nama tembe yu zam yo so ya tende yo, bayi njo ne, nama tembe yonzi, yonzi, nama temba yonzi, tungdong je yung marwa. Ta na ne, yonzi tungdong tende je la, tembe je gong, samba gong yang zong no, metaba gong yang zong no, tende je na yo rubin choba rogo res, so yin ba. Ta rubin choba che ta la, tembe je, chu je, domi je se ya. Ta tembe je ne nam je yong da, tanda, sinye dawa dewi jo dama jo je se deha ke, chamba tseme, ninja tseme, gawa tseme, tongjo tseme se ya ji, erwa. Ne chuji domi je se, da chuji domi je se ya de, danda, luze tamje medaba, saje tamje donga ba, chuji tamje tongje dame ba, nyangyen de ba, sheba se ya, de lan chuji domi je che wa re.
So there is the next is the offering of practice. So in general, when we try to accomplish virtue, then this effort, this practice can be offered, can be considered as an actual offering, and one can offer that. And also when one's mind is trying to practice Dharma, once any form of virtuous practice or Dharma practice that one accomplishes, all these can be used to make offerings to three jewels. So an actual offering of Dharma virtue practice within one's mind. And then also it says here that, for example, when milking a cow, one can also contemplate on the Dharma, one can meditate on the Dharma, and then make offerings to three jewels. So the analogy of milking a cow here simply refers to a short period of time. Even when one is milking a cow, it's like a very short amount of time, an activity that's a short amount of time. So during that period of time, one can also meditate, for example, on the four immeasurables, or the fourfold condensation of the teaching. This is something one can meditate on these, and then even that meditation itself, one can also meditate on impermanence, and those meditations of the Dharma can be, within that short period of time, can also be used as an offering, and one can offer that. So the four immeasurables, we constantly reciting that during rituals, and may all sentient beings of happiness and cause of happiness and so forth. So the four immeasurables refer to immeasurable love, immeasurable compassion, immeasurable joy, and immeasurable equanimity. So these four immeasurables. And then there are the fourfold condensation of the teachings. As mentioned here, firstly, all contaminated phenomena are miserable. All composite phenomena are impermanent. All contaminated things are immiserable. All phenomena are selfless, and nirvana is bliss and peace. So this is a fourfold condensation of Dharma. This is of the teaching. So this is also something that we can meditate upon. Yes.
So during the it's not for the whole period of milking, not the whole period of milking, but just one time the pulling down the
okay.
This short time. It's not the whole time.
Not the whole process of milking the cow, but just one squirt.
Just one time. during the duration.
Duration, one squirt.
Chuji dom je se, inda ta dom ge do so no de ti ji re so yin bre. Na chongga ro ja ne tong bo mo tse je ne so dom yin de go na dom nan de ga se re se ya ji wa ro. Den no je ne ga so non bi chu tam je so dom ro ja ba yin na ti je non du yung de re se ya ji ma re dom je se da.
So what is the fourfold condensation of Dharma is actually these four lines. Essentially, they condense the entirety of all the teachings of the Buddha into these four essential outlines. So therefore, there's the word, the main word here is the word condense, condensation, whereby it condenses all the entirety of of all the teachings into these 4 lines. Yes.
그래다 너제 남제 메타바 사제 남제 동아와 생윤도 너제 메타바 고민도다 저 메타바다 제레니 nemma 동아 dembe 제주 메타바다마다 데레게다 메타바 차모 고민으로 대가 나오지 단다 사제 남제 동아와 생윤도 고와제도 제라게 동아를 삼냐 다 동안이지 냥엘데 바시와오 일단 냥데 때라 다 대바지 용내 뭐뭐요 아닌데 된대네 다 고아래 녀모보 잠제 단다 타바 된대 동네진의 기분 정차로 그러 단 드니마도 보면 냥데 다 동네 제원이나 근데 대바지 못 차로 요지 대요다 뭐에 녀모베 자와 단데 말고 보냐게 녀모라 돈이도 비시로 보고 아닌데 주단지 돈이 남에 봐서 단테 대제놈 만들어 매대야
So the fourfold condensation of the teachings here, the first one, all composite phenomena are impermanent. So here one can meditate upon death and impermanence. The different kinds of impermanence, one can meditate in this way. And then the next one is all contaminated things are miserable. So here one can meditate upon the sufferings of samsara, the general sufferings of samsara, as well as the individual sufferings of each of the different realms. Then also, the next one, all nirvana is bliss and peace. Here there are different kinds of nirvanas, depending on which section of the teachings that one refers to. There is the nirvana of the lower vehicle, here whereby a nirvana of the lesser vehicle, or the nirvana of the greater vehicle, the Hinayana and the Mahayana nirvana. And the nirvana of the, if one refers to the nirvana whereby one achieves liberation from cyclic existence through abandoning the affliction, mental afflictions, then that kind of nirvana is the nirvana of the Hinayana that pertains to the being of the middle scope. And then if one refers to the nirvana whereby one totally abandons both types of obscurations to knowing, up to omniscience, as well as obscurations to obscurations of mental afflictions. When one abandons these two, then one achieves Buddhahood, or the nirvana that is of the Mahayana, the nirvana of the greater scope. And then when one meditates upon the root, the antidote to the root of cyclic existence, the root of all delusions, which is the ignorance that grasps on the inherent existent self. So one meditates about this wisdom of emptiness, that is the antidote to this root of cyclic existence, and that is the wisdom that all phenomena are selfless, the fourth one in the fourfold condensation of the teachings. So it is said that within these four subjects, that no dharma in the entirety of the Buddha's teachings is not contained within these 4 lines. Yes. So that is the 37 practices of enlightenment, which is the practice that is common to the Hinayana and Mahayana vehicles. This practiced by all vehicles, the 37 practices of enlightenment. That is the 6 perfections and the 4 ways of gathering, which are the practices specific to the bodhisattvas. Yes.
tende 제거를 해서 이거다 타는 모나면 인조 모나면 인조 잡는다 대답을 검지용화 쇼 삼바 tende 제거야 이 말.
So we've been doing such a short duration as one squirt when one is milking a cow. That during that short period of time, one can meditate upon such dharma, and then make an offering of this practice of dharma. And also, even if one cannot manage that, then one should also even make prayers to be able to do so. So even such a prayer itself can also be considered as an offering practice. Tamalam gyaba. Yes.
이말단 줘봐줘봐티 군조선 줘봐는 용수 줘빈 줘봐고 나 동네 잠연도 건단다 고단 줘봐 조대는 줘봐 ngosum 진 줘봐 ngosum도 주변 줘봐 ngosum도 마주비 줘봐 하세네 네 예지 다들 도모데 좀 먹어지 이 말다 근데 롱게 라다는 제야 예 거는 제바 좋지 근데 도모한테 좀 먹어 이 말에 다 되는 전에는 예바도 그때 줘봐 네 야집이 줘봐도 제 그건 아무지 많이 줘봐도 근데 주빈 줘봐도 줘야지 줘봐 넘버 줘 줘봐이나 다 줘봐 용수 줘봐 자그래서 용수 줘봐 줘봐이.
So then to make these 10 types of offerings to 3 jewels is to make a complete offering. So here Rinpoche goes through the 10 types of offerings again. Firstly, the first one is making offerings to the Buddha's body. Secondly, making offerings to stupas. Thirdly, making direct offerings to a perceived object. Fourthly, making indirect offerings to a non-perceived object. And fifthly, offerings made by oneself manually, with one's own physically, but with one's own hands, without making others make them on one's behalf. Sixthly, offerings that you help others to make out of compassion. And then the 7th, offerings of wealth and service. The 8th, making vast offerings. The 9th, offerings not contaminated with the afflictions. And the 10th, offerings of practice. So these 10 types of offerings, if one can make them to 3 jewels, is considered to be a complete offering. Yes.
이게 줘봐대라 줘봐 자와도 제비 삼바세야 지송도 제비 삼바세야 어떤 대다긴 초배체나 군조소 공연으로 충분히 제장 르 빠드면 중에 삼만에 줘대 그래 다 군조소는 줘봐 충분히 맞죠 맞죠나요 르 빠드면 중에 와지 르 빠드면 중요하게 좀 돼 가르세나 삼만에 줘대 중에 삼만에 줘대 연대지 신 공연에 봐 인양 받아 그래다 손절에 연대 하고지 매와 인도 연대시 공연 매와 인양 받아 팬도가 섬제라 팬도가 있나다 팬도 저 존주스만 이제 팬도가 요래 인다 팬 노바 존주스마 사주바 와 개요 손제동 라와 따범마도 손진구동 라와게 섬제가 동체 도구요 말와 나 섬제 동 섬제는 팬도가 용수도보다 손제 마도 노트구매디 팬도가 공나매도 냠바도 그래다 섬제 담지진 초고 고니 남지 초세대야 다 된대 다 근데 손제세야 돼 신도 공부해서 우동하면서 신도 공부도 동서 동지면 이제는 제 권한 중에 마시고 삼바도 이제는 내마다 지금 부조 탐지지 시행이 노냠도 삼비 줘봐 삼바 대라초 소위 말 대답은 줘봐 다 줘배 삼바돼서 한다 봐봐 도면 대비 좀 주지면 사하세요 송사는 송발해서 한테는 이제 제반이서 대단 정산 용어도 제바 이제 단다 그게 시 줘봐 고던 조된 오송오송에 제도 전주 이거 자제도 너무 찜민 주변 초바 쥐어서 대하대요 정사게 dom색이 말이에요.
So next, here the text refers to the second aspect of the offerings, which is the attitudes that one possesses when making offerings. So when one makes these 10 types of offerings, then there are 6 types of attitudes. Then if one possesses these 6 types of attitudes, even though one may make a very meager offering, however, due to these attitudes, they would cause that the result of making that offering into a limitless ripening result. So here, one makes offerings there through firstly the first thought that the first attitude that one should have is that there is no higher field of good qualities, no higher field of merit than the Buddha, and secondly there is no higher benefactor. So when you say there's no higher benefactor, refers to the Buddha's benefiting sentient beings, being beneficial to sentient beings. In general, even bodhisattvas are considered beneficial to sentient beings. They benefit sentient beings. Even the bodhisattva, the 10th ground, is considered who is beneficial to sentient beings, and is considered very similar to the Buddha. However, even the 10th ground bodhisattva, who is considered similar to the Buddha, is unable to benefit sentient beings extensively in the way that the Buddha is able to. So therefore, only the Buddha is of full or the best, highest benefit to sentient beings. Therefore, the Buddha is the highest benefactor, the greatest object of offering. And it is also in the text it says the Buddha is. So then the third attitude you should possess is that the Buddha is the best of all living beings. And so, for example, when we recite certain praises to the Buddha, it mentions the Buddha as being the supreme of the bipeds, supreme of the two-leggeds, which refers to the best of all living beings. So therefore, one should possess such an attitude and make offerings with that. Then the fourth attitude is that the Buddha is extremely rare, like an Undumvara flower. So this flower is said to be extremely rare in this world, and so one should make offerings to the Buddha considering such rarity and comparing to such rarity. And then the fifth attitude that one should possess is that since only one Buddha appears in the universe of 3 billion world systems, he is the only one. So one makes offerings with that attitude. And the sixth one is that he is the foundation of all mundane and supramundane goodness. So when one makes these offerings, possessing these 6 attitudes, one receives immeasurable ripening results. So here, Lama Tsongkhapa says he has written about these 10 types of offerings in 6 attitudes as they appear in the Bodhisattva levels. So the Bodhisattva levels is a specific text written by Arya Sangha, and Rinpoche just recited the verse that contained the subject of the 10 types of offerings and the 6 attitudes. And that particular verse is like the verse that condenses the entire text of the Bodhisattva levels. Yes.
From Changsa, the condensed verse, the holy body and the stupa, and the mental the actually performed offering and the mental transform offering, and having done by oneself and letting others to do, and making the miscellaneous offerings, and offering service, the extensive offering, and the offering of practice.
对军们的得到接受吧，查了，对上的对进去在那容易女把的对面就把送报的家伙，你这当然就把那么就送了，就把那么就拿那的对军们刚刚见嘛，他们那样的跟我说嘛，人家接受吧查，对上的对进去在那容易女把的对面就把送报的家伙，是的，对上是的才接的，中央能够的接来的对送报送要接。 다 되jen스된 돈빈제제 그래 중국어가 되jen 그래다 손제 받아 중국어 받아 한단다 사례법에 되jen 아니 좀더 되jen 좀 뭐지 송여로 대전으로 대작에 세나니 줘봐 농에 누바도 놈이 줘봐 송벌이 제거를 해서 song in Mare. That the dog is Sena, Choba Cheva Yina, do Sombo Yinza, Tis Soje, in Jora Chimbo Yungiore, Yendu and the Nijam Labza in Mare. Then is that and the Trasakala, and the Sajene, the Jella Tuzon Seajen, so Mungiore.
So then, these 10 different types of offerings, one should, under normal circumstances, in one's daily life, one should make these 10 types of offerings. Ideally, all 10 of them. If one is unable to do all 10 of them, one should offer however much one can. Do the practice of the 10 offerings, to the best of one's ability, and also one should make special offerings on. Especially good offerings on auspicious occasions and sacred holidays, auspicious times and religious days, special holy days. So, for example, when we talk about auspicious occasions, referring to such as the Tibetan 8th of the 8th of Tibetan month, as well as the 15th, which is the full moon, and the 30th, which is the new moon. On these 3 days of each month lunar calendar, one should engage in special offerings. And we refer to holy days, then referring to days that commemorate the Buddha's holy deeds in this world, such as the day commemorating the Buddha's first turning of the Dharma wheel, and the day commemorating the Buddha's enlightenment, and the day that commemorates the Buddha's descent from the heaven of 33, and the day commemorating the Buddha's display of miraculous deeds. So these are 4 religious holy days are the days that we should also engage in special
holidays.
For great holy days, then one engages in special practice to accumulate, to make extensive offerings. So during these times, one should make extensive offerings to the best of one's ability, and then because these are considered special times and great holy days, so during these periods of time, whatever virtuous activities that one engages in gets multiplied. So one accumulates great virtue during these periods of time. So therefore, one should engage in these practices as they are the precepts of refuge. And in accordance with these precepts of refuge, then in the monasteries, it is customary to offer tok, make extensive offerings of tok during these special days. Yes.
There's the tok is the gatherings, the monks to perform pujas,
Yes.
on special days.
So it's like
not particularly also offering, but this.
Yes. So here, the word tok has the alternative connotation of assembly to perform major pujas, and not necessarily referring to tok as we understand it under normal terms. Yes.
Yeah, Saturday Chagobe, there's the dog pushing Joba Machana, some of us chung to be chewing the corner to be pushed on Yang Taban and Joba Chow also. In that, Yen to Jun, also Saturn Jayada. And Dulo Goya, that is a Chihuahua. And then Dulo Sabano, the Rijumana, Nekojola, Pugio, somebody. And this Atom Jayum Bicala, the put. But a chud Yanchi, got it long Jogion, the put a Kujo Pugio, somebody. Retayanda. Ask Lendogs on Mayimba, Ning Pawane, Damubashi Tabu on the Pubanina, and Kati Shitamevachi, that do Jundetech, as Aton Jeda Hindu, Tso Mombo, Sechun Zoba, at the younger days, in the Chobacheko Res on him. In that Chona, the long joy did legend and some noton, Choba Pujina, Yapuyungua. No tema Jona Shogin, that telling a capsule, Zavatoma Kandri, Chevina, Tea Puti, Lamago Pugio, Sambachine, then the Nonge.
So the next section mentions that one should also make an offering of one's food, one's drink, of one's drinks, and one's the clothes that one wears during the day. And also when one buys new clothes, it is also good to offer to the rituals first before wearing it oneself. And so one should make offerings of the first portion of one's food and drink. And also, imagine offering all of these to the Buddha. So one should make offerings from the depths of one's heart, with great faith. Offer with great faith from the depths of one's heart. And also, in this way, if one wanted to make offerings in this way over time, when one accumulates great merit, it is a practice, if prior to eating and drinking and wearing clothes and so forth, make offerings. If one wanted to do that, it is a practice of little hardship, and one little hardship, but however great merit, great benefit, due to amount of merit that one accumulates. And with each enjoyment, if possible, before enjoying, on each separate occasion, before enjoying food or drink, to offer the first portion of the 3 jewels. If one is unable to make an individual offerings on each separate occasion, each individual occasion, then one can think that, for example, during the start of one's day, one can think of all of the food and drink and clothing that one will enjoy today, throughout the day, and make an offering of the first portions of these to the 3 jewels. We can mentally engender that intention and make that offering. So that is also an alternative way of making offerings. Yes. Yes. So we leave at this point. So please, whatever you've heard, please engage in actual practice. Yes. So Thanksgiving mandala offering on page 27.
Ave Lama Zain Do Be Yate Yin Do Je Ga Ge Se Je
Yeah.